Hey folks, welcome back to the Chop Shop. I'm Rob. Happy first of the week. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's had a, good past couple of weeks with the COVID. I don't know if it's lessening up or what's going on. I'm sorry I haven't been posting too many of these as of late. Got some personal family stuff going on and it kind of distracts from my thinking and me being able to stay on point. I'm usually able to record a lot of these one loop around, but this time around, no. I'm having to get kind of warmed up about it. So, going to be talking an awful lot about rigging. And I'm going to be covering the what and the why and the how we rig. And it really boils down to one really important thing is deployment. That's really the point of this whole thing is because you have to be able to develop your own means and types and techniques on being able to deploy and do what works for you, because the way I deploy may not work real well for you and it may not work for the next person. So you have to be really privy on how you deploy, how you personally deploy, and how you're going to be working, how you're going to be practicing deploying. So today we're going to be talking about hardware, and we're going to be talking about the actual the sheathing system in and unto itself, and we're going to start working at the details to kind of get you up to speed on how to start working with your own rigging, okay? So what we've got here is we've got a light fighter sheath, okay? What you have is you have two pieces of thermomolded plastic around the blade mold that is then attached to something and it holds the blade in place while you can put it wherever you're gonna put it, all right? These are assembled with eyelets. They're assembled with brass eyelets. See them there? Okay, you didn't get a good look at that one. Here's one here. Here's one here, okay, already kind of molded over and mushroomed. What that does is that it's compressed and holds the Kydex in place so that the two pieces of Kydex stay together, okay? Now, you say, Rob, well, why does this all matter in the world of rigging? Okay, I'm getting there. So that has to be able to attach to a attachment system in order to put it on your person, okay? So what I've got here is I've got a Swift dagger from TCT Knives, right? Because I build the sheaths for TCT, and he likes to use these belt clips, right? And these belt clips are attached with two T-nuts, a spacer, rubber spacer, and then two screws, okay? So why is that important? Okay, here's why it's important. Because what you got elements that are to take your sheath. Let's go ahead and do it this way. Take your sheath and your attachment system and put the two together, okay? And what puts the two together is a screw and a T-nut, okay? So what I have in my hand here, I'm having to use my left hand because my right hand is shot. What we have here, folks, is a T-nut, okay? And it's a T-nut because how it's shaped. It's shaped like a T. So what it's meant to do, it's meant to go in through one side of the eyelet and then you space it. See that? You space it, and then you have to understand that your T-nuts have threads, like a regular nut does, right? The majority of your T-nuts, they're sometimes referred to as Chicago screws. The Chicago screw is a rig. And when I say a rig, it kind of comes already together. You can purchase T-nuts separately. And you can purchase, I like buying a lot of my hardware from Knife Kits. KnifeKits.com. Yes, this is a shameless plug for Knife Kits. No, they haven't paid me a dime. I just love working with those folks, okay? KnifeKits.com. Don't immediately click the first one that pops up because another supply place has been able to use that. Type in knifekits.com and look down and look for their site because they're kind of down 2 or 3 clicks, okay? So if you go looking for them, that's how you're gonna find them. back to this. So you have to understand that your T-nut, if you go to some place to look for it, you need to understand what your thread type is, right? And the two thread types you're going to be finding is you're going to be finding an 832 or you're going to be finding a 1032. That is your, without getting into all the details, the machining details, that is your thread type. Those are the types of threads that you have inside of the T-nut. And what you have to do is you have to match the screw to that. Now, this all comes to preference. Do you like slotted? Do you like Phillips? Do you like Torx? Do you like Allen, which is hex? What do you like to mess with? Because they come in all shapes, sizes, preferences. A lot of people are really familiar with just Phillips head. If you look here, see these guys are just Phillips head screws, okay? So you got to match up your thread. Again, Knife Center's really good about this. There's other places where you can pick these up if you're a little bit more savvy on what you're looking for in hardware and you're a little bit more mechanically inclined. You may want to check McMaster Car. If Knife Kits doesn't have it, it's almost a 99.9% chance McMaster Car is going to have it, okay? And both of these two companies I've worked with for over a decade, and dude, they are really good about getting stuff to you and getting it to you in a hurry. So yeah, there you go. Anyways, so now that you've got your screw type, you have to make sure that your thread is matched. You're either going to be thinking that you're either going to be an 832 or a 832 or a 1032. And another thing you need to pay attention to is your height. So the height of your T-nut, like I like to run my T-nuts to where they pass through the eyelet about an 1/8 of an inch so that my spacer has got a little bit of bite where it'll grab on to that and it'll be able to, let's go ahead and do one here real quick. Let me get my eyes on. Yeah, so, and again, this is a gross example, but see how it kind of sticks to there, it stays on there. That's very helpful. And you can do that with, can't use the thumb. You can do that, like here's one with I like to use these 1/8 inch ones once in a while. See how it stays on there? It makes it so much easier to attach your hardware when you have that, okay? And then after you put your attachment in place, you have to take into consideration how much movement and travel is going to be in the compression. Now, there are some people who use rubber, which compresses. There are other people who do it just a little bit differently, and they use a hard plastic spacer. There's Teflon, there's hard plastic. Golly, there's just all kinds of choices. If you've got questions on any of this and you want more info, feel free to message me. You can message me at rob@star15.com. That's rob@star15.com. So then you'll be able, at that point in time, you have the T-nut through your eyelet. You'll have the spacer, whether that's rubber or hard plastic or Teflon or whatever. And then you will then put your attachment system on and then screw into it. And then you can flip that back and forth if you want. It can vary. You can get real creative on how you want to put your T-nuts and your screws in or whatever. Like Darren at TCT, he likes it when I'm gonna turn it so you guys can see the glare. He likes it when the T-nut is on the finished side, right? Some people do. Some people don't care. They just put the screws in, done. Okay, so let me go back. This is today. This is it, dude. We're almost at 10 minutes already. And there is literally tons of this. So I'm gonna be walking you guys through this. Please, please, please pay attention. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna be going through subjects like this with a fine-tooth comb, okay? Because I'm huge, huge, huge on deployment and rigging. Because if you cannot get to your kit or you are improperly rigged, you're in trouble. Okay, you're in big trouble because guess what? It is not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. And having good rigging helps you with being able to deploy well, whether it's your knife or your gun, it really doesn't matter, okay? And being privy on what's available to you, what's out there. Listen, buy yourself a screwdriver set. I've talked about this before. Harbor Freight has fantastic, I'm looking around here for if I have one close to me. There's one over there on the kit. But they've got great deals on these little kits. I mean, we're talking like $8 for a nice little screwdriver set with all these various types, and you're gonna find stuff that's cool for you. And this isn't just for dudes. This is for ladies, so I'm doing this for everybody. I'm here trying to, help you to be built for victory, empower you to get out there and get better at deploying, better at drawing, and you do that by getting good at your own rigging. That's why we're here. So today we talked about T-nuts, spacers, the actual sheathing system. Remember, you're attaching the sheath, to the attachment system that's going to attach to you. And today we talked about the actual hardware that does that. We talked about the T-nut, we talked about the spacer, and we talked about the actual screw that attaches to that. So I'm Rob, up here at the Chop Shop, helping you to be built for victory. Have a great week. Keep your eyes out. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be posting these because I've got a lot of information to go through with you guys, all right? Head on swivel. Be safe. God bless. Peace.